It's Extreme Home Makeover Brand Edition this week. I'm Kate with Marketecture, and this is The Refresh, your weekly download on what went down in advertising. It's Tuesday, August 26th, and this week we're covering Target's Q2 earnings and CEO switch-up, MSNBC for the rebrand, and Nexstar's acquisition of Tegna. So let's get into it. Target's revenue may have been up quarter over quarter, but year-over-year numbers weren't looking so positive, leaving analysts and Wall Street alike to say, Target's down bad. Revenue did land above expectations, coming in at $25.2 billion, which was 1.24% above the forecasted $24.9 billion for the quarter. But other core metrics were in the red. Comparable or same-store sales were down 1.9%, while customer transactions were down 1.3%, with the purchase value of those transactions decreasing 0.6%. Target's earnings weren't the hottest tea to be spilled on earnings day, though. Ahead of the call, Target announced that current CEO Brian Cornell would step down to allow his COO Michael Fidelki to step into the role in February of 2026. Wall Street reacted with a heavy sigh, and shares dropped 6%. Many had favored an outsider for the job to really shake things up, or dare we say, introduce some diversity. One bright spot in Target's earnings was their non-merchandise revenues, which jumped 14.2% and include their Roundel ads business as well as their membership program. Getting back to being known as Tar-jahy isn't just good for Target's bottom line, but it's good for the advertisers looking to leverage their retail media network. More customers making more purchases across a greater variety of products feeds a rich, frequently refreshed dataset for advertisers to tap into. In the theme of refreshes, MSNBC hard launched a new look last week. They don't just have a whole new visual identity, but a new name, MS Now, which stands for My Source News Opinion World. And I'm no expert here, but I don't know that we want to be associating news so closely with opinion. It turns out NBCU is pretty protective of their peacock and wants to keep it in the family. MSNBC's rebrand is part of a larger overhaul of brand identities following NBC Universal's spinoff of some of their cable assets into a new company, Versant. The MS Now rebrand not only erases name notoriety, but decades of investment in building brand value and recognition among viewers. MSNBC leadership promised to support the rebrand with a large marketing campaign to ensure that they're not losing viewership. But advertisers have to wonder, if it's not effective, what opportunity is there for long-term investment in these channels? Finally, if you've been signing You Rock, Don't Change in local TV's yearbook, I've got news for you. The landscape is changing. Local TV giant Nexstar announced plans to acquire its rival Tegna in a $6.2 billion deal last week. With this acquisition, Nexstar would gain ownership of 265 local TV stations in 44 states and Washington, D.C. The deal still needs to secure the FCC's blessing, and despite critics' claims that it would eliminate competition from the market, the proposed acquisition is happening in an environment of increased deregulation. This could pave the way for even more consolidation to happen in the local TV space. That's all we have time for this week. Thanks for joining us for The Refresh, and we'll catch you next week.